So what he said that it feels that there are some blocks that are blocking him from following his path. What are those blocks? Do you see?
He has a fear of being seen. He doesn't want to be seen by anybody. He wants to, that's his block. He wants to stay under the radar, and he wants to be quiet. But those types of qualities do not help him fulfill his purpose.
No, they will not.
Because his purpose is much larger. His purpose involves many people. His purpose involves helping thousands and thousands of people to overcome their own problems, to raise their own consciousness, and to become more intuitive themselves. And he can't do that by being unseen. He can't do that behind closed doors. He needs to be open. And he's dealt with this his entire life, this block of not wanting to be seen. And that's part of one of the lessons that he's here to overcome is breaking out and not being scared of being seen and being vulnerable in front of other people and showing yourself and not caring about what anybody thinks of you, because you know that the message that you're bringing forth is extremely powerful and is going to help so many people. And the power of the message that you have is much, much greater than any fear you have of what people will think of you. And so this is the block that needs to be overcome and needs to be let go. And once this is let go, then everything else will fall into place and become much easier. This is the one thing that's blocking him.
When this block was first originated in this body, was it in this lifetime or different lifetime?
It's been over many different lifetimes. This has been a constant struggle to get through. It's been something that has been present for a while.
Now I know that when the soul chooses the experiences, it chooses for a purpose. What was the lesson that the soul wanted to learn by choosing this block?
The lesson is to be open, to open yourself up to other people. Because when you stay closed, you're not helping anybody. Sometimes you can help people by staying close if your vibration is in a certain level, but you have to really be more open and engage more with people and talk more, speak more with people and encourage them and teach them and be vocal with them. And that's the purpose. That's what we're trying to overcome. This block is to overcome this, because he came here in order to remove this block, because at the other end of this, beyond this block, are really beautiful and amazing experiences and amazing healing for both him and everybody else that comes across his path, that's able to experience his story and his help, his knowledge, his intuition, and his consciousness. And so it's been a long battle to overcome this block, to let this go, but it's going to be very amazing on the other end of it when it's over.
Can you show, please, Trevor, how it will look like when he would overcome this block? How it will feel like for him to live without the block?
Letting go of this block will feel like his entire body just lightens up, and the weight will just, of the world, the mental blockage, the energy, stagnant energy, the negative energy that feels like it's dragging him down will just completely wash away when this block is lifted, and it's it's going to completely change the way he feels every single day. It's going to make him feel so much more positive and happy and fulfilled and energized, and it'll be amazing the way he feels. He won't believe that he lived his life for so long feeling the way he did, because when block is let go, it just opens up everything within him and opens him up to every other soul here in a much different way than he already is open up to. It allows him to connect to so many more people, and when you make that connection, you get the energy, you share the energy with everybody else, and that charges you up, and it charges them up, and that's what creates this feeling of kind of like infinite life force within him. And so this is why it's so important to let go of this block, and this is why it's so important for the soul to work through this, because it energizes everybody around him, and not only him, but everybody. So it's really important.
It's very important. But we have those concerns, but what if someone will not like us? What if someone gonna judge us for what we are? And what if I'm so vulnerable in front of so many people, so I will get hurt? What can you tell Trevor about those concerns that our mind always put as a, resistance?
All that stuff is just inside your mind. It's all fake. It's all just made up. And when you get into this body, you get attached to it so much, and you think it's real, but it's just a game inside your mind that tells you that these things are scary. It's all fictitious stuff. It's your ego that's trying to tell you that you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't share yourself. You shouldn't help other people. You shouldn't be vocal. And this is all just holding you back. This is the energy that we're talking about that is so negative, that once you let go of this is what's going to open everything up for you. And it's as easy as just recognizing it and observing that it's not real, and then just letting it fall off of you. And it sounds hard to do, but it's really, really easy, because it doesn't even exist. It's just made up by your mind, and you don't really understand this being in this body as easy as it is when you are in another realm. But that's another purpose for why we're here, is to understand these differences between the higher dimensions and the lower dimensions, and how these things interact.
It sounds like many people right now are working on the same block with them. The same block as Trevor is resolving right now.
Yeah, everybody's working through this. Everybody's working through some type of block right now that they're trying to overcome. Many people want to speak about things that they feel they can't speak about. And they will be encouraged by anybody who comes out and speaks like this, because they all feel it inside of their minds. They all feel inside their souls that this is expressing yourself and showing your true self, your soul, to the world, allows people to respect you more. He thinks it's going to make him disrespected by showing himself, and there will be some that feel that way, but there's so many more that will respect you for coming out and being who you really are in the world, because they'll see themselves in you. They'll recognize the person inside of them that they feel they truly are, that they're suppressing, and they'll see that you're bringing yours out, and so they'll feel more welcome to bring theirs out. And then you have an entire world, an entire consciousness that is instantly raised by more people embodying their true selves all at once. So he can be like a Kickstarter for all these other
Yes.
people.
Like his purpose is, as you said, to overcome something and then show others how it can be done, so they will see, oh, it can be done, I can do it too.
Mhm. Mhm. And this is healing. This is really healing for everybody. When this happens, when people get out of their egos, they get out of their bodies, and they embody who they truly feel they are. This is healing because it's shedding the ego, it's shedding the old self, and it's moving into the true self, the higher self, and it's getting closer to that. And when you have millions and millions of people on this earth walking around embodying who they really are, then that is healing to so many people. It's healing to the entire planet, and that's why he's here, is to do that.
Such a beautiful purpose. Now when he understands it, when he was able to really feel it, is he ready to release this block?
Yes, he's ready to release it. He knows he needs to release it. He knows that he can release it any time. He knows this.
Mm-hmm.
He knows this. He's just waiting and waiting and waiting.
Is it a good time now to release it?
He can begin to release it. He can begin to let it go, and he can let it go at the pace that he feels that he needs to let it go. But
Absolutely.
he can at least open the door and start to let pieces come out, start to share more, and eventually that whole door will just rip off and everything will be open. But he hasn't even opened it a crack yet, so he needs to start to make progress by pushing it open slowly, letting some light out, and then eventually, when the time is right, everything will open up.
No, it was such a beautiful imagery that you brought up about the door, that you can open it in any pace, and he will choose the pace to open it, but right now he can open it just a little bit. Is it that so?
Well, he can open it as far as he wants to, but he's just not. He's not sure how quickly he should open it. But it's okay. He understands. He understands that he can open it all the way if he wants to, and he just needs to get a taste of what it feels like to let a little bit of light in through the door.
Can I ask ourselves to give them that taste now?
Yes.
Thank you. How does it feel like?
It feels like remembering myself again. It feels like he's knowing, he's seeing who he really is again, and it's a beautiful sight because it's something that he hasn't seen in so long. It's something just that he remembers from before he was here, and to just get a small glimpse of that feels just so amazing and beautiful, and makes him want to see even more, and makes him want to open it even more to see everything. And that is healing. And as soon as he starts to open this door more and more, just seeing a little peek of it right now, it's just, he's going to take off. He's going to take off in the direction that he's meant to be in, and that's when all that energy is going to kick in, and all that healing is going to occur both within him and everybody else that comes across him and experiences his messages.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else he needs to know about that block, or is it already in the working?
It's being released right now. We can
Thank you so much.
let it go.
How would higher self do that? I'm always curious.
It's as simple as just taking off a piece of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like taking off a jacket. It's really easy to take off. You just have the zipper, you push the zipper down, and you take your arms out, and you just let the jacket drop down to the floor, and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's always there for us to do. Our clothes are easy to take off. You just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you can take your shirt off, you can take your pants off, your socks. Everything that we carry with us is as easy to take off as it is to put on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a simple way to just visualize the experience that you have when it comes to letting go of these blocks. It's very, very simple, but we make it so hard inside of our minds because we don't know that we're just wearing these things like clothes. They're so easy to take off.
Mm-hmm. How does his jacket look like that he's taking off? Can you describe it, please?
It's black, and it's heavy, and it's dense, and it absorbs a lot of the energies of other people around
Mm-hmm.
him,
Mm-hmm.
and all these other people around him are, you know, experiencing these same blocks. And when you have that jacket on, you absorb everybody else's blocks, and they come onto you, and they latch onto you. And so by taking off that jacket, you're stopping all of those energies from being absorbed into you, and you're embodying your own energy. You're not taking on anybody else's energy. And he's sensitive, so he needs to be aware of when he's wearing something like this, because it can just force him or cause him to absorb all this other energy that he doesn't want on him. So he needs to just take it off and take off that jacket, and then he'll be able to be himself.
Now, being himself without this jacket would allow him not to absorb other people's blocks, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It allows him to create his own energy into the world, and to bring his own energy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the jacket, you are more so absorbing other people's energies. But without the jacket, taking it off allows you to create your own energy and bring your energy into the world. And your energy is positive, and it's healing, and that's good for other people's jackets to absorb if they're wearing a jacket as well, which most are. And so by you taking yours off and embodying your energy that you emit, the other people around you will latch on to that same energy through their jacket, and eventually that will result in them peeling theirs off.
This is such a beautiful scene.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So all those extra sensitive people who are wearing those jackets around, and they feel everybody's pain.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all their jackets talking to them?
Yes, it's just everybody's reflecting each other onto each other, and everybody's just, all this negative energy is just kind of compounding on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's forcing everybody to feel a very negative way about themselves and about their purpose and what they're here to do. And as long as all it takes is just one person can make a huge difference, that can take off and let go of their blocks, let go of their jacket, and bring out their energy. And then that can just create like a ripple effect and just heal everybody within that vicinity. Anybody who hears this message for this person can be able to let that go, and can be able to become who they truly are supposed to be. And this can be done really anywhere today with the internet and the ability to connect with people from anywhere in the world. And now we don't need to be in physical presence with people in order to experience this anymore. There's ways that we can help each other take our jackets off from anywhere. And this is why a lot of us come here at this time, is because there is that connectivity, but we also have that same connectivity within ourselves naturally too.
Thank you so much for this explanation. I was wondering how those jackets were created, how they were built.
They're created by the soul in order to assist themselves in moving through this 3D reality in order for them to learn this lesson. So it's kind of done on purpose. It's done to allow the soul to see how they can overcome this, to see how they can learn how to take the jacket off. And there's a lesson within that learning of taking it off. There's a lesson. It's our job to find out who we are, to figure out who our higher self is, who the soul is, who the real I is behind all of this, and that is part of the lesson. So it serves its purpose up to a certain point, but if anybody wants to truly embody who they are and be who they're supposed to be, then they have to learn how to take this off, and it's not easy to take it off, and requires a lot of work, and it requires a lot of trial and error, but it's part of the reason why we're here, is to get closer to what's on the other side of that jacket.
Where is his jacket now that he took off?
It's on the floor now. It's gone. He doesn't need it anymore because this doesn't, wearing this jacket doesn't resonate with his purpose. So why would he need to wear it? His purpose is to create his own energy, to bring his energy out to the world and not to absorb other people's energies. It's to be a creator, and you can't do that when you're absorbing other people's energies constantly. You can't be a creator when you're taking on all that negative energy all the time. And so he knows what his purpose is, and he knows that he needs to let this go, and he knows he's ready to let it go. He knows that the longer he waits, the closer he's going to get to going down, being stuck in the wrong path. And so he's ready to take this off, and he can take it off, and he is taking it off. And it's going to be really beautiful what's on the other side of it once he lives his life without this burden on him anymore. He's going to be able to be himself.
I know he will truly appreciate this information. It feels like there are many other people who would really benefit from this information, isn't it so?
Yes, everybody will benefit from this. This is part of the energy that fills him up inside, is being able to help other people take their jackets off, help other people to see who they really are. This is what inspires him and gives him energy, and this is how that connection works when you connect with everybody else that's trying to accomplish this too. It energizes you, it energizes them, and this is all why we're here. This is part of it, is to wake up to this truth about ourselves. And even if we don't know that we want it, our intuitive self knows it deep within, that this is what we want, this is why we're here. And we reject it, many of us reject it for a long, long time, until finally we're nudged to open up to it. And it happens at all different stages for people. But now is the time for him. He's at his stage where he's ready to let it go, and he's waited long enough to let it go, and now is his time to move forward and become a bigger part of the whole movement of what he's here to do.
This is so beautiful. his life look different now after he took the jacket off?
Well, he won't be scared anymore. He won't have that fear of being seen anymore. He'll be fine. He'll feel okay to be seen. He'll want to share with people. He'll want to put himself out there. He'll want to show himself to the world because he knows that he is healing himself and others, and it's so much bigger than him. So for him to experience fear over something that is so much bigger than him just doesn't make sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
And he's starting to realize this, and he realizes this as soon as he takes the jacket off, that all of that fear that he had was making a big deal out of something that doesn't mean anything to the entire whole.
Mm-hmm.
And the fear that he has is not nearly as big as the healing that can be done when he takes that jacket off. So it's going to allow him to just let go of all the heaviness and the burden and be who he's supposed to be, and that's going to create energy within inside of him that's going to give him the confidence and the courage to do all this.